Greetings, my Israelite brothers and sisters, heirs, joint heirs, adopted, grafted, scattered, natural, spiritual. Just checking in with Israel. That's what we're doing right now, just checking in. Um, I hope to find everybody well. This is like almost like the end of the day on a Tuesday, and I just hope to find everybody well. I'm going to be testing our 800 number soon, so I probably will jump on later on this evening and do some stuff just to see how the system is working. So if you're not doing anything later, tune in with us. We may just take some phone calls just to test our system to make sure everything is up, dandy, and all of that good stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing this evening, I think. Time permitting. Last Friday, I know many of you all got the message maybe late about Bible study. So I hope and pray that you were able to bear with us and to be with us this Friday. How you doing, Laughter? I was just looking at a photo that we took during the conference, and I just posted a video of the people just really praising the Most High. If you thought that the Great Gathering Hebrew Conference was just teaching and learning, you can see that just right there, we had a great time, a great time. The gentleman singing, and we call him Brother L. He's out of Jacksonville. I'm sorry, he's out of Tampa, Florida. He's out of, and good brother, very well gifted, as you can hear. And you'll see Minister Michael Norman in the background. He and his wife, Minister Michael Norman, did a phenomenal job as well. We just had a good time when it came to praising the Most High, just giving him all the glory, the honor, and the praise. It was good to do that. So, Kelly, how you doing? Wardy P, how you doing? Glad to see you all in the chat room with us. This week it's just been, I don't know if it's today because it's raining here, but just, I don't want to say a loss of words, just mainly thankful, and I'm just, sometimes you get in one of those quiet spaces, but I've been very busy. I spoke to a young lady up in, I believe, Cocoa, Florida, just wanting to know about the feast days. And as I had offered, during the conference, people could call, and if I had the time, I'd break open that bread, and I did. There was also another young man that called from the Virgin Islands, and he had some questions, started a ministry over there, and we broke bread for a couple of hours. So it was just wonderful breaking bread with individuals. And that's what the way it's supposed to be. Just be there to break bread and help people. Everybody wants to know about the feast days. I don't know if it's because it's the season of feast days that people want to know, or if it's just a yearning. Either way, I'm glad that people want to know about them. They don't want to know how. They want to know why, and why do we observe them? What do they mean? That's the two questions: the why and the what. Why do we observe them, and what do they mean? And we have been covering that, and we're going to cover it because we're coming up on the Feast of Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You have to mention Passover first, because you cannot have the Feast of Unleavened Bread without having the memorial of the Passover first. It's very important. But let me get back to the Friday night. The technology is now in. I want to thank everybody that has become a Patreon subscriber. And so the technology is there. It's already in place. So we have the frame. I just need to test it. And the only way to test it is to go live and test it. So I'm going to go live, and it may be this evening, and I'm going to test it. That's the only way. I don't know what it's like when multiple people call in. I don't know if they're going to get a busy signal, because the service, the way they kind of describe it is that the way the phone calls come in, they get prioritized. And depending on how long it takes for us to get finished with one question and reach another, um, it's kind of the unknown. That's the best I can tell you. So that's why I want to test it. I want to test it. I want to see what it's like. I want to be able to know what to tell individuals that call in, whether we say, you know, we tell a particular person to call in that we're looking at the chat room, or we just open it up for people to tune in and call in. Because what I've learned is not everybody in the chat room. There are other people viewing who's not even in the chat room. So when we see our numbers in the chat room, it's just the numbers that are in the chat room. You more than likely have additional viewers who just haven't joined the chat room. And that's the way that is. And they could be listening and they would want to call in. And so that's how that will work. Really, that's really how that's going to work. So it's a platform that I'm glad that we have. How you doing, Brother Phil? How you doing, Brother Brian? I like the platform. It just has to be tested. That's pretty much the way to do it. One way to do it before Friday night, and that is to test it, which means I'm going to have to go live. And I'm not going to be talking about any particular subject tonight that I know of, but we're going to have the call-in. Trial runs are always the best. You'll learn a lot from a number of trial runs. Yes, thank you, Brother Ricky. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Just going to do a trial run. So I'm going to be setting up the studio. I'm going to be setting up the phone and doing the trial runs. Just see what happens. And so it's going to be great. And, you know, although it's not a Bible study, you know, when people call in, maybe we may dialogue for a little bit and monitor the chat room and just see what else we need to do to continue to get calls and to kind of keep it going. So it's the technical staff where we got our system from. It was very, very helpful, very helpful. They did everything that we asked them to do. We just have to test it. And I don't know if it will do what we asked to do until we test it. So that's why trial runs are going to be very important. But just, you know, the 800 number, because of the fact that we have it, I gave it out at the conference, although it wasn't really up and running the way we wanted it to, but now it is. So we have quite a few people calling, and they're asking a lot of good questions. Again, mainly it's about the feast. So that's what this is good for. This is a season that people got to be awakened. People have to come into the truth, the knowledge, the understanding. It's just that time. It's just that season. So I really pray that people get great use out of our platform, off of our channel, that we're able to bring substance and value and quality of information to all of our subscribers and viewers, and that it will be what people are looking for to really receive the word and learn the word and understand the word and to really receive knowledge. So Linda Jones Vicker says, hello, how you doing, Linda? Ricky says there may be a few numbers from these first trial runs. Ask the people to call in numerous times to be able to troubleshoot potential problems. Yeah, Ricky, I think that's a good idea. Um, Here to Serve says Shalom. Yeah, I think that may be a good way to test it and just, you know, so some of the subscribers that are frequent, um, I know you all will get that bell notification. In fact, if you're here now, hit the like notification. But you'll get that bell notification tonight once we set up the studio. It's going to be probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock, because we do have some people on the West Coast that we want to give them a chance to get off. So if we get on at 9, it'll be 6 o'clock out there. And, it's not something we have to do all night, but at least who knows where it turns into? Who knows what it will turn into? So there's so much work to do in the spreading of the word, but this is just one of the avenues. Many of y'all didn't know that I may not have shared this, but I do have a 24-hour radio station, and it broadcasts over several platforms, including the internet. And so somehow I thought about incorporating it, and I don't know. I would prefer to stay 24/7 on where the channel is coming up and playing different stuff. So I don't know. Shoot me some ideas. Shoot me some emails. Tell me what you think at bethelhouseofgod@gmail.com. I do know that we're going to be having some guests on the channel, and we're going to be talking to them. I spoke with Biblical T today, and she has a wonderful, wonderful business that she's got up and going and started. She has a hand of art that she does in making things for weddings. So I told her today that when I do interviews for people in that category, I want her to be the first. So, we may do that tonight. I may call her and see what her time is like, and we may do that tonight. It'll be a good trial run. So you all stay tuned in, and peace to everybody. If it's raining where you are, stay wet. If it's cold where you are, stay warm. And if it's hot where you are, stay cool. That's the best way I can put it. Oh yes, Biblical T is doing very great, very great. Will it be a full teaching? If you're talking about tonight, the radio station's name is Keep It Real Talk Radio. Keep It Real Talk Radio Station. KIRTR Radio. KIRTR Radio. By the way, yes. So we may do that tonight. We may bring Biblical T on just to share what she's doing with her business at home. So from Philadelphia. So I'll check with her, and that may be the plan tonight. So other than that, peace, shalom. We'll talk soon. Wardy P says, I like that. All right. That might be a go. That might be a go. In fact, I may give her a call and see how that is. She does have a family, and it will be 9 o'clock. So I have to see how that goes. So peace to everybody.